Benioff and Weiss, the first Star Wars film, will set well before the Skywalkers, and we're learning that production is going to happen in the very near future. This is a story that I'm grabbing from StarWarsNewsNet.com. Good friends over there. We had John on the show. I think it's too close to call, but I really want to try and get Lacey to come on the show. I need to reach out to her again and see if she will be a guest on an upcoming episode here in the near future. But here we go again. John, with his crazy sources, he's able to say that there's going to be an Obi-Wan TV show, and now he's saying for sure that we're going to get this Benioff and Weiss movie covering the Republic, the old Republic. We're going back a long time before the Skywalkers were even a concept in the galaxy. And David, I want to start with you, though, if you can. Can you break down production is going to happen how soon? It's going to happen really soon.
So we're getting some reports, as reported by Star Wars Newsnet, that this fall they may start actually filming this franchise, which from what we've talked about in past episodes, that seems a little rushed, because what we had heard is that nothing's really starting until after Game of Thrones is pretty well wrapped up, done, and that loving seal and a kiss has been put on it and it's out the door. So the fact that they're going to start filming this fall means that they've already been working on production, casting, screenwriting, getting all the behind-the-scenes stuff put together, which to me is really impressive that they're able to balance that and wrapping up Game of Thrones, because there's a lot of pressure on them to end that well, especially with so many unfinished storylines and figuring out how to wrap that up so people are happy, because it's very hard to end a series.
Like you mentioned,
everybody's always going to be upset about something when you finish a TV show.
And I think the observation that you make is really good. Yeah, this is a lot sooner than we thought. I think a lot of folks didn't think that we were going to get this show until 2020, Jesse. And so I want to ask you right now, is when you hear that this is happening a little bit more rapid pace, is there a chance that we get something about this at Star Wars Celebration, knowing that the premiere of Game of Thrones, the final season, is that same weekend?
It'd be a very happy surprise, but considering that they've already announced like all the panels and everything, I just kind of feel like where are they going to sneak that in there? You know, because the episode 9 panel is going to be about episode 9. I think the other panels that you could queue in for was the Mandalorian. They're going to be talking about that. I highly doubt they're going to try to basically take the hype off of those. At the same time, yeah, it is kind of surprising that they'd be potentially going into filming and production that soon and everything, because I mean, as David mentioned, I mean, Game of Thrones is a very big deal. Ending this wrong or not pleasing the fan base on that could have really dire consequences. So
you can have Benioff and Weiss working on Game of Thrones, finalizing that, and having artists doing concept renderings. You can have a lot of that production stuff happening simultaneously. And the truth is, Game of Thrones, it was written, shot a long time ago. They've been working on special effects.
Well, in terms of like the story stuff and everything, I mean, they're kind of in uncharted water. Yeah, they knew how it ends from Martin, but that next book, I mean, Martin's been working on that next book for God knows how many years. I'm waiting on it, so I mean that's the thing, is like they went into a new area. So I mean, in the fan base, we have no idea what was shown on the show is actually going to happen in the next book or not. Where's that difference going to take place?
Well, the fun thing is this is a Star Wars show and not Game of Thrones, but I am really excited about it. Let's go. Let's think about this, because as far as our celebration goes, Thursday we know that's basically show up day. That is, if you want to get a pre-look at the floor, you get that opportunity, but it's pretty much a travel day. It will be for Jesse and I.
Yeah.
Friday is going to be episode 9. So we know we're having that panel. We know that there's going to be the trailer drop in there. I'm sure we'll find out if that leaked poster has any legitimacy. It's probably not. There's a reason why we're not talking about it on the show. We're going to get that trailer, hear from the actors. That's what everyone's going to be talking about for that 24 hours. Is that trailer, because we've been craving it for so long. The next day, EA is going to own that day. We know that EA's panel is going to focus primarily on Jedi Fallen Order. It would be great if we learned about another game. We'll get to that in a couple of minutes. We have the next day where we believe that Sunday will be about The Mandalorian. And then we know that Monday is their big shebang. I wish I would have known this. I would have taken the day off and gotten the ticket for it. The Phantom Menace 20th anniversary. So, yeah, the only place I see it where they could slip it in is at the end of the Mandalorian panel, for example. But I think there's a better chance of getting the Cassian Endor series, maybe a glimpse of that in that moment. And keep in mind, you also have the Clone Wars that is going to be showcased at some point at Star Wars Celebration. And I'm assuming, I don't want to say assume because that's a bad word, but my hope for this, we would get to see that first episode at Star Wars Celebration.
You know, they did that for Rebels, I think, at the last celebration, because that would have been around the time for the final season of Rebels, and they got to see like the first 2 episodes or something.
Well, and remember, like last Star Wars Celebration was kind of a letdown for some people as far as like a news cycle was concerned, because like the biggest news was like Thrawn was going to be in Rebels. Remember, because it wasn't because the year prior you had all the movie news and it was exciting, and it was kind of a bust the last time. So this is going to be constant news breaking those 4.5 days. I think it's going to be thrilling. I think with the report that we got from StarWarsNewsNet.com a few weeks ago, as far as an Obi-Wan TV series, 95% likely. If that is the truth, I think it would make a lot of sense for that to be the final cherry on the top at the end of Star Wars Celebration. If on Monday after that Phantom Menace panel, they're able to say, hey, by the way, Ewan, come back on stage. We got something we want to tell everybody. I mean, the place would go nuts. I mean, the live stream would literally shut down. I mean, it'd be insane. But we want to know what you think about this. So if you're joining us on the live show on YouTube, as you can always, 11 a.m. Central, you can comment in the live chat right now. If you're watching on the rewind, be sure you comment down below and let us know what you think about learning that Benioff and Weiss will be tackling this Age of Republic, this Old Republic era, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years before the Skywalkers. I really hope it's like the formation of like this like I kind of want to see like how the Jedi became to be and how like the Sith broke off. I think that'd be really cool to explore with that. But I don't know. I think that there's so many things that we know because of the video games that we want to have crammed in that era. Because it's like you'd want Bane. I think you want the Rule of Two addressed in the series of movies, but you can't do that too early. You got to spread it out. And again, we're learning that it's more of a trilogy, not so much a series of movies. Or maybe it is a trilogy and it's a series, so maybe these 3 movies cover a lot of time on the canonical timeline. We have no idea. We won't know for a long time. But I just want, like David and Jesse, a lot of lightsabers, some really cool space battles.
Thank you for watching Beyond the Blast Doors. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. Beyond the Blast Doors, a Star Wars conversation.